There are no surprises here. Macron should never have become the president of France. He was a low-level aide coming from the Rothschild Bank. He was promoted because President Hollande became the most unpopular president in French history. His prime minister, Manuel Valls, another arrogant and ineffective figure who tried to act tough like Macron, destroyed the Socialist Party and Hollande's chances for re-election. It was evident that the Rothschilds asked Macron to resign and prepare for the election under a new party and slogan, positioning himself as an independent candidate. Macron had around 1% of the vote when he started his campaign after resigning from Hollande's government. François Fillon was expected to be the clear winner of the upcoming election. However, in a turn of events reminiscent of Biden's justice tactics in the U.S., Hollande's administration created a scandal against Fillon for paying family members for fake jobs. This practice was common in France and worldwide, where politicians often pocket money from various sources, including taxpayers. As a result, Fillon was eliminated and faced legal consequences, leaving Macron as the only viable candidate. I could tell you stories that would make you sick about what politicians will do for money and power. Macron has another 3 years to finish his presidency, but I doubt very much that he will be able to go to the limit of his mandate. France is boiling from all parts. The French are very unhappy that migrants are destroying the country and the French traditions, and the economy is in total chaos with an EU that is totally corrupt from the top to the bottom, with technocrats owned by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers running their scam. If you think that the U.S. Congress and the Senate are corrupt, think again. Brussels is the Club Med for corrupt politicians who are sent as a favor to do the dirty work of their masters. A civil war is expected in France unless they have a strict government that is going to clean up the mess that has been created since Mitterrand. The unexpected rise of Emmanuel Macron, historical context and contemporary implications. The ascent of Emmanuel Macron to the presidency of France was marked by a series of unexpected political maneuvers and unprecedented public discontent. Macron, who emerged from a background in banking at Rothschild and Bank, was a relatively unknown figure in the political arena prior to his rapid rise to power. This paper will analyze Macron's unexpected journey to the Élysée Palace, drawing historical parallels to past French governments and exploring the underlying issues that facilitated his presidency. By examining the political environment during François Hollande's tenure, the collapse of traditional party structures, and the socio-economic challenges facing France, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of Macron's presidency and its broader implications. The political climate under François Hollande. François Hollande's presidency, 2012 to 2017, was characterized by widespread dissatisfaction and political instability. Hollande's approval ratings plummeted, reaching historic lows due to his inability to address economic stagnation, high unemployment rates, and increasing social unrest. Hollande's unpopularity created a vacuum within the Socialist Party, leading to internal divisions and diminishing the party's electoral prospects. Manuel Valls, Hollande's prime minister, was seen as a polarizing figure. His tough stance on security and labor reforms alienated many within the Socialist Party and the broader left-wing electorate. Valls' perceived arrogance and authoritarian approach further eroded public trust in the government. The disintegration of the Socialist Party under Hollande and Valls set the stage for an outsider to capitalize on the growing disillusionment with traditional political structures. Macron's rise. A new political narrative. Emmanuel Macron's background as an investment banker at Rothschild and Bank and his subsequent appointment as Minister of Economy, Industry, and Digital Affairs in Hollande's government positioned him as a technocratic figure with economic expertise. However, his political ambitions became apparent when he resigned from the government in 2016 to form his own political movement, La République En Marche, LREM. Macron's decision to run as an independent candidate, distancing himself from the tarnished Socialist Party, was a strategic move. He presented himself as a centrist reformer, appealing to both left-leaning and right-leaning voters disenchanted with the traditional parties. Initially, Macron's campaign garnered minimal support, with polls showing him at around 1% of the vote. However, the political landscape shifted dramatically with the scandal involving François Fillon, the leading conservative candidate. The Fillon scandal and its implications. François Fillon, the candidate of the center-right Republicans, was widely expected to win the presidential election. However, his campaign was derailed by allegations of financial misconduct, specifically accusations of employing family members in fictitious jobs. The scandal, dubbed Penelope Gate, led to a significant drop in fill-in support and opened the field for other candidates. The use of judicial investigations to influence political outcomes has historical precedents in France. The fill-in scandal bears similarities to past instances where political figures have been targeted by legal actions, often leading to their political downfall. For instance, the downfall of Jacques Chaban-Delmas in the 1974 presidential election due to allegations of tax evasion is a notable parallel. Such incidents reflect the interplay between politics and the judiciary in shaping electoral outcomes. Macron's presidency, challenges and controversies. Macron's presidency has been marked by significant challenges, both domestically and internationally. Despite his initial promise of economic reform and renewal, Macron's policies have faced widespread resistance. The Yellow Vest movement, which erupted in 2018, epitomized the public's frustration with economic inequality and perceived elitism. Macron's attempts at labor market reforms and pension changes have also sparked mass protests and strikes. Additionally, Macron's handling of immigration and integration has been a contentious issue. France's long-standing struggle with integrating immigrant populations, particularly from North Africa and the Middle East, has been exacerbated by recent waves of migration. The perception that migrants are eroding French cultural identity and straining social services has fueled nationalist sentiments and bolstered support for far-right parties, such as Marine Le Pen's National Rally. The European Union and corruption allegations. Critics of Macron often point to the influence of powerful financial interests, such as the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, in shaping European Union policies. The EU's bureaucratic and technocratic structure has been accused of being susceptible to corruption and undue influence from elite networks. This perception undermines public trust in EU institutions and contributes to the rise of Eurosceptic and nationalist movements across the continent. Comparisons to corruption in the U.S. Congress and Senate underscore the widespread nature of these concerns. However, the European Union's complex governance and the concentration of power in Brussels have made it a particular target for accusations of elitism and unaccountability. Conclusion: the future of Macron's presidency in France. Emmanuel Macron's presidency represents a significant departure from traditional French politics, reflecting broader trends of political realignment and populist resurgence. As Macron faces the remaining years of his term, the challenges of economic reform, social cohesion, and political legitimacy loom large. The potential for civil unrest and political upheaval remains high, particularly if the underlying issues of inequality and cultural integration are not addressed. Historical parallels to past French governments highlight the cyclical nature of political crises and the recurring themes of scandal and public discontent. Whether Macron can navigate these challenges and restore stability to France will be a defining test of his leadership and the resilience of French democracy.